Hello, beautiful stars. Thanks so much for tuning in. I am Astar, and welcome to Source Light Star. Thank you so much for finding your way here. Trust that Spirit has led you to this video, and trust that Spirit has a message for you to hear today. So thank you so much again for tuning in. Your presence here is appreciated, and you are honored, and you are loved. And I can't wait to see what Spirit has to say. All right. So, okay, wow. Back of the deck we have agape. Agape is the ancient Greek word for love. So we see what this is about. Then we have the comic. It's so funny. I will say something about the cards that come out later on. Then we have the poet. And then we have the nectar. Ooh, okay. So I almost feel Spirit is wanting me to mention this because I feel it's relevant to the reading. So a few days ago I tried to record this reading, but actually I felt that the energies were not in alignment. More than anything, I felt that I was forcing it. So the first message coming through is really something about honoring the flow. And it's so funny that exactly the same cards show up as last time, so definitely the message needs to come through. But it's also about honoring the timing of certain things. So with the comic coming through, this is a very happy card. When I look at this card, I'm feeling like child's birthday, or I'm feeling this energy of humor and taking things lightly. So the way we have an easier path in life, the way we can invite in more playfulness and more lightness in our life is actually by honoring the natural flow of things, or the pace of our soul, or in other words, divine timing. So very often when we hear divine timing, we might think, oh my God, I have to wait, or there is so much weight involved with that. But actually, it's about realizing that almost Spirit decides when the day is right, kind of thing, or Spirit or our higher self knows when it's actually the best circumstance and the best day and the best energy to do certain things. In my case, to channel this message, or to start a project, or to, yeah. But then if we follow the ego, if we say, no, I do it anyway, then it might not be the perfect alignment. So let's say if I would have recorded that reading a few days ago as I wanted to, then maybe I would not be able to express myself as clearly, or the messages would come through but in a filtered way. And the filtered way would be then the emotions that I was feeling on that day, which maybe don't resonate with the energy of lightness that wants to come through in this reading. So it is really, really, again, this message of honoring the cycles of life, honoring divine timing, and knowing that we will always be inspired to do things when it's right. And this is then how we can invite this comic energy, like this playful energy, this energy of, yeah, flowing with life. And then when we flow with life, it's actually much more enjoyable. Right now I'm really enjoying this reading, and I really like being here and channeling for you. And a few days ago it felt more like I need to do this, or I want to do this, and it was more this forced energy. And then again, to close this first message, to enjoy our life and to play with life, it is so important to tune in with ourselves. And when we do, then again, this energy transmits, because today I felt the energy is right, I feel in alignment, I want to do a reading and I feel good. And this is then the energy that is being transmitted, and then it comes through in the way that it's meant to, because this message is meant to come through today, and you are meant to hear this message today. And this is actually how, beautiful, now it relates to the first card, this is how we invite more love in our life. And it's very beautiful because agape is both the word for love, but it is also the word for the law. So in telema, there is also this phrase of the law, love is the law, and it's connected with the word agape. So telema is like occult tradition, and the law is the law, love is the law. That actually means that the law of the universe, how everything functions and everything is actually based on love. So love is the law. Basically, when we love our life and when we do the things that we love, that's basically our goal in life. So their highest tenet, their highest saying is love is the law. Because again, when we follow the things that we love or when we do the things we love, then we also follow the laws of the universe or the laws of nature. So following the laws of nature is doing things we love. And this is then again how we bring in this playful energy. This is very much taking me to the energy of the inner cosmic child. So the inner cosmic child again is not only the child from this lifetime or like our younger self, but the inner cosmic child is actually our soul. So honoring the flow of our soul means honoring the flow of love. And that goes back to the message of divine timing. Like divine timing is basically being in alignment with our soul and being in alignment with the present moment, which then means being in alignment with love. And that alignment with love means following the laws of the universe and being just in tune, so when it just flows again. And then we have the poet, and I really love this card. I feel called to pull some animal oracle cards to see what the poet wants to let us know. And then the nectar, beautiful, I love the energy. So, let's see. Okay, I already see where this is going. All right. Ooh, hello, hello, hello. Back of the deck we have the phoenix. So we definitely see what this is about. Then we have the oyster. And we have the dolphin. And the gazelle. Although I will connect the gazelle with the nectar later. Dolphin and oyster. So connecting the oyster with the poet, the first thing I'm noticing is here this pearl. And I'm hearing the phrase, the world is your oyster. So there is very much something about understanding, again, coming back to agape, love being the law, something about understanding the core of things. And understanding the core of things, which basically is understanding our heart, understanding what the present moment is, and understanding what the soul actually is, understanding ourselves at our core, this is, let's say, the pearl that is hidden within the oyster. And when we say the world is your oyster, what that actually means is, yes, the circumstances in the world are such that are perfect for us to develop the pearl within the shell. So basically, everything that happens in our life is designed in a way that is helping us again to develop not our soul, but to develop this sense of, there is a message of refinement. So it takes a while for a sandcorn to turn into a pearl. And everything that is going on in our environment and in our life, in this case being the oyster, everything that goes on inside the oyster is here to again turn this sandcorn into a pearl. But then again, it takes a while for the sandcorn to turn into a pearl. Like this is the divine timing that we're talking about. Like it takes a while for the refinement to take place. It takes also a while for us to refine our character and our personality. So instead of acting from the ego, instead of doing it the ego way, it takes a while to refine our senses and our vessel in order to allow the pearly essence to guide our actions, or our higher self to guide our actions, or our soul to lead the way, basically. And this is the pearl of the poet. So in order to be poets, or in order to be artists, or when we think of poet, this is the energy of being in love with life and honoring life and appreciating the beauty of life and appreciating the goodness of life. In order to be in that state, we almost have to carry this pearl in our heart. So we carry the pearl of knowing that we are love. We carry the pearl of knowing that, wow, everything in my life, everything around me helps me not only see this pearl, but actually it also allows me to offer this pearl to the universe. So that's why a poet is doing their art or sharing their magic. A poet is writing their song and writing the poetry, basically. Poetry is the adoration of the divine, the adoration of love, the adoration of the beauty. And that's the offering that we do to Source, to the divine, basically. So everything in the oyster, everything in the life is beautiful, we enjoy it. And as a sign of gratitude, we offer that pearl back to Source by doing magic or by creating poetry, creating art. And this is how we then love love. So it's not only about being in love, but also acting out of love. Like this is talking again about offering ourselves to the world, offering ourselves to, it's also talking about the importance of giving back not only to the earth, but giving back to the collective. And the best way we give to others and to the world is by doing the things we love. And by doing it in a very natural way, without forcing things. So I love doing these readings, but I love doing them when the energies are in alignment. And if I force myself to do more videos or create more content when I don't feel in alignment, then it's also not in alignment. So it is not only about doing the things we love, but also allowing ourselves to have the natural pace of how that works for us. And so it's really coming back to this message of getting to know ourselves, the importance of really understanding our rhythm. And then of course, if we grow up in a society that almost pushes us to have a certain rhythm, like a 9-to-5 job, or to always create content, or to always stay there, like always, you know, like it's really about understanding that the outside world is actually here to, help us get to the core of what we really want. So maybe we first have to experience what doesn't work, and then the more we try, the more we experiment, we then get closer and closer to find our own pearl. And that pearl is again just like loving the beauty and being in alignment with ourselves and sharing ourselves. And this is again how we then are also received in a good way, because we feel good about ourselves, we feel good about what we're doing, and it just flows. So that's the way of the poet, that's the way of the artist. Like they are also not attached to the outcome. So an artist, a real artist, they create art for the sake of creating art. And again, writing poetry for the sake of writing poetry. Like creating beauty for the sake of beauty. Like love for the sake of love, again. So loving just because that's our nature. And creating art and beauty because life is beautiful, because the universe deserves to be revered, or it's here to be revered. So it is really with this dolphin energy, which very much resonates with the comic. It is asking us again to have this playful, like playing with life, exploring and experimenting and finding out what really resonates with us and what works for us, and finding our own pace. And this is again the best way how we can share our own unique pearl to the world. And then when we are in this dolphin energy, when we embody this playful inner child attitude, which again the inner child is our soul, is the phoenix, is the eternal essence, the eternal aspect of our soul, which basically never dies, and it is always going through its cycles of death and rebirth. That's what the phoenix represents. But the dolphin, or this inner child energy, and the phoenix, it's all one and the same. It's about acting from this alignment of our soul, like being in alignment with our soul, and having a very playful and flowy way of doing things. And then the world is our oyster. Then we are not trapped in the darkness of the world, which sometimes can feel like we are jammed inside a clam, because as the phoenix, as the eternal soul, we are eternal, we are infinite, we are the whole universe. So actually, if we embody more of our potential, it's about going beyond the world, going beyond the oyster, but then still knowing that while we are in the oyster, when I say oyster, I see these two sides, almost putting things together, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, the material and the spiritual that come together. This is like the oyster of the world. Even if we are inside duality, inside the brain, let's say, like the two sides of the brain and the two sides of the body, and just, yeah, even if we are in duality, it is about knowing that the purpose of it is still to find the pearl. And the greatest thing is actually, oh my God, oh yes, the channeling comes through. Like I just got a full download, and it will take a while for me to unpack this information, but I just love spirit. And see, when we are in alignment, then these things, they just come through, and it just flows, and it just, love it. Okay, to explain to you what just came through. So the pearl, coming back to the world being perfect for us to find the pearl. In the end of the day, it's about understanding that the pearl is already here. It is already within us. And it's so beautiful because the next card that synchronistically shows up is the peacock. And I immediately connect the peacock with the phoenix. And there is this story of the firebird. It's called 𝑇�𝑼𝑼𝑍𝑚. 𝑇�𝑼𝑼𝑍𝑚 in the Iranian mythology or tradition, Persian Iranian tradition. It's actually a spiritual tradition of the Sufi, so a legend or a myth from Sufism. And it's called the Conference of the Birds. And basically the story goes that there are many different birds. There is a chicken, there is a parrot, there is a peacock, there is an eagle. And obviously all these birds, they are unique. So some of them can fly, others they can't. Some of them fly super high, others fly super low. Some of them are connected to the water, like all these different birds. But then essentially, they are all birds. But they actually go on a journey of finding the king of the birds. And that's the firebird, the 𝑇�𝑼𝑍𝑚. That's like we're talking here about finding our soul, finding the phoenix, finding the oyster, finding the pearl within the oyster. And on this journey, they pass through 7 valleys. And this is basically an analogy of the 7 chakras. And then I don't want to go too much into detail because it's quite a long story. And then they go through all these adventures, these 7 valleys. They have to complete 7 tasks. And then when they arrive at the top, at the last stage, they basically are then about to meet the firebird, the phoenix. And then everyone, all of these birds say, oh, we finally made it to the top. We finally went through the whole journey, and now we are here to face the king of the birds, face the king of the kings. This is our soul, basically. But instead of finding the phoenix, instead of being face to face with the firebird, what they find in this space is actually a lake. And then they approach the lake, and all they see is their own reflection. And what this means, what this whole story wants to let us know, is actually that we are the ones that we are looking for. So basically, we go out in the world to search for something, like we want to search for love, for success, for things, like we go out into the world, we experience the oyster, looking for ourselves, looking for the pearl, but then actually we come back to ourselves. Like we go on this whole quest, this whole journey of going through the chakras and activating our fullest potential and this whole task, but then in the end we end up where we started. Like we start with ourselves and we end up with ourselves. We start with love and we end up with love. We start from the divine and we end up with the divine. And I really love this story because there is also a message about understanding the importance of our uniqueness and embracing our uniqueness. Because, yeah, that's actually the nature of the soul. Like the soul, the fire bird, is within all of these birds. So they are the fire bird. And no matter if they show up as a peacock or a chicken or an ostrich or an eagle, no matter how they appear, no matter how they look, at their core, all of them are the firebird. So at our core, we are souls. And it doesn't matter if this outer shell, the outer appearance does not matter, but it does matter because it's about understanding the preciousness of our uniqueness and celebrating that. So again, it's about celebrating our uniqueness while at the same time knowing that we are all one and the same. We all have the phoenix at the core of our heart. And this is actually what we're looking for, to embody our soul essence while still being our unique peacock or eagle self or whatever bird you are. Like you are a beautiful bird and you're exactly as you're meant to be. And your bird being is perfect to find, to find a way back to yourself, but it's happening in a very playful way. Like the reason why we are all unique, the reason why we all look different, the reason why there are all these different species of birds, it's actually about playfulness. Like really, Source is like, I just want to have fun, like I just want to explore. So imagine if everyone would look the same, if everyone would do the same, like life would be so boring, really. And Source chooses to have all these different colors, all these different rays, all these different dimensions, all these different beings, all these different, like it's so beautiful to explore and experiment a variety of things. And that's why we also have many incarnations. So in one lifetime we might be the peacock, in the other lifetime we might be the eagle. And there is a beautiful thing about each and everyone's journey. But then again, once we experience all the birds, once we go through all the processes, in the end of the day we will always end up with the phoenix. Like we will always end up with our heart, with love, with agape. And that's the law. It's really about following, again, I cannot say it enough, following our own rhythm, following our own pace, and then we are in flow, and then it's enjoyable, and then it feels like poetry. And that's the goal. Like the goal of every human is to, like we all are artists, we all are poets and magicians, regardless if we do it actively or not. Like regardless if I say, oh, I create this artwork and therefore I'm an artist. We are artists because we are creating this artwork of our life. We are magicians because we are contributing to the magic that is the universe. And that's why, it's again this message of creating without the attachment to the outcome, creating without expectations, creating just for the sake of creating. Oh, I love it. Creating because you love it, creating because it feels in alignment, creating because it is in flow. And then connecting it to the gazelle and the nectar. When we live life from that space of alignment, this is what allows the golden nectar to flow. And the golden nectar, we are talking here about the land of honey and milk. This is actually really seriously talking about the secretion of the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. So the pituitary gland secretes this milky substance and the pineal gland secretes this golden substance. And this is the land of honey and milk. And when this secretion happens, when the golden nectar flows, this is what leads to higher self-embodiment. because literally this is producing DMT in our brain, which occurs naturally. It occurs naturally in all of nature. This is like the spirit molecule. When this secretion happens, then DMT is released in our brain, and as a result, the two sides of our brain, the two hemispheres, they harmonize. The feminine and the masculine harmonize, and the physical and the spiritual harmonize. And this is the divine union, the divine marriage, that then leads to the understanding that we are eternal souls, that we are the firebird. And the gazelle here is really talking about this duality. So being in the duality, that's why they have two horns and two ears, being in this duality, but knowing that this duality is actually again here to help us find our way back home. We are within the two sides of the oyster, the feminine, the masculine, the spiritual and the physical, the two hemispheres of the brain, in order to understand that we have been the firebird all along. So all journeys, they lead back to our heart. Everything we do ultimately is for us. So even if we offer ourselves to the universe, even if we do something out of love, it is still for us. It still comes back to us because we are part of the whole universe. So helping others actually means helping ourselves. Supporting others is actually supporting ourselves because we are all. So that's why it's so important to always be kind to ourselves and to others. Because when we are kind to others, like, it's just creating a ripple effect of love, and we need more love and we want more love. And it's so beautiful because the hidden intention that I set for this reading was actually channeling the frequency of love. And this is it, it's love. Seriously, there is nothing else than love. And this is what agape is. Love is the law. And there is nothing else than the firebird, which is our soul, and which is this eternal aspect at the top of the pyramid, at the top of the mountain. And no matter where we are on our journey, may we be at the base of the mountain or in the middle or all the way to the top, we always are the firebird. And that's why it's okay to honor the process. It doesn't matter where we are. If we just start on the spiritual journey, or if we are already an enlightened master, it doesn't matter, because at our core, we are the king of the kings. At our core, we are the firebird at all times. And at our core, we are love. And our soul is love. And that's the message for today. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I really, really enjoyed this reading, and I hope you can feel the energy, and I transmit the energy of love to you. So thank you so much for tuning into love, and thank you so much for being love and resonating with love. So thank you so much again for tuning in. I'm also offering healing sessions and personal readings, so you can always reach out to me for more information. And thank you so much again for watching. I hope you're having a beautiful time, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye, much love.